What if Uganda went to war with Ethiopia? Who would win? Your brain just provided an answer. Ethiopia. Obviously, it's not even a question. The ancient empire, the second largest population in Africa, the battle-hardened military, the air force with Russian Sukhois, the dam that controls the Nile. Against Uganda, a landlocked nation a fraction of its size. The spreadsheet agrees, the maps agree, history agrees. An Ethiopian victory so decisive it's barely worth discussing. Delete that conclusion. Because you are about to witness the greatest strategic miscalculation in modern African history. In this horrific, hypothetical war, Uganda does the impossible. It doesn't just survive Ethiopia's wrath. It lures the giant into a trap of its own making. A quagmire of water, mud, and regional fury that grinds the Ethiopian war machine into dust, and it forces the world to save Ethiopia from itself. This is not a story of conquest, it's a story of suffocation, and it begins not with a bang, but with a silent digital scream. Ethiopia's opening strike is predictable, powerful, textbook, designed for a quick knockout. From bases in Bishoftu and Bahir Dar, Su-30 fighters and drones scream southwest. First target, Entebbe International Airport and the adjacent military airbase. Runways cratered, control tower obliterated. Uganda's gateway to the world is silenced in the first hour. Second target, the Jinja Industrial Corridor, where the Nile begins its journey. Factories destroyed, fuel depots ignited, Owen Falls Dam infrastructure hit. The goal? Plunge central Uganda into darkness and cripple its industry. Third target, Gulu Airfield and Barracks, the nerve center of northern operations, pulverized to prevent any stabilization. Fourth target, Mabira Forest surveillance and listening posts, known intelligence sites destroyed. Ugandan command is blinded. It's a masterclass in conventional warfare, air dominance, psychological shock, command paralysis. Addis Ababa believes Kampala will fold. They are wrong, dead wrong. Because Uganda's war did not start when the bombs fell. It started years earlier, in the shadows. As Ethiopian jets take off, logic bombs detonate inside Ethiopia's digital ecosystem, Operation Silent Nile. First, Addis Ababa, the financial freeze. National bank servers encrypted, commercial bank systems collapse, transactions halt, payroll freezes. A nation of 120 million hits pause. Panic spreads quietly. Second, the GERD, the perception attack. Hackers seize official channels. They don't shut the dam down, they post erratic data. Pressure fluctuations, emergency test messages. The goal is not destruction, it's doubt. Sudan watches, Egypt panics, trust fractures. Third, Dire Dawa and the Djibouti Railway. Logistics systems infected, freight schedules scramble. Cargo jams choke Djibouti. Ethiopia's lifeline to the sea seizes. Fourth, activating the sleepers. Encrypted messages to dormant opposition groups in Oromia and Somali regions. One sentence. The time is now. Before a single Ugandan rifle fires, Ethiopia faces a digital blackout, a hydraulic confidence crisis, a logistical heart attack, reignited insurgencies. The war is defined. Ethiopia fights a territorial war. Uganda fights a systemic war. Now look at the map. To invade Uganda, Ethiopia has two options. The southern route through Kenya, impossible. Kenya would never allow it. Forcing passage triggers EAC war, non-starter, the western route, through South Sudan. This is hell. Gambela, Upper Nile, Eastern Equatoria, swamps, mud, militias, a 500-kilometer convoy through lawless terrain, ambushes, extortion, bleeding supply lines. By the time Ethiopian forces reach the border, They face fresh, entrenched UPDF units, short supply lines, prepared defenses, logistical suicide. So the war returns to the air. Uganda's secret weapon is not a jet, it's denial. Ruwenzori Mountains, Kibale Forest, Lake Albert, mobile air defenses, hidden targets. Uganda doesn't need air superiority, only air exhaustion. Then comes the ace, the White Nile. As bombs fall near Jinja, Uganda makes an announcement. For national security, we are suspending turbine operations and initiating an emergency drawdown of Lake Victoria. Translation: we are turning off the tap. Sudan feels it first, then South Sudan. The Sud dries, pumps fail, fields wither. Khartoum issues an ultimatum: cease attacks on Ugandan water infrastructure or face intervention. Egypt backs it fully. Ethiopia is trapped. Continue the war and trigger hydrologic conflict. Its dam becomes a hostage. Inside Ethiopia, pressure explodes. Insurgencies surge, troops redeployed, economy freezes. In Uganda, the population rallies. David versus Goliath. EAC support flows quietly. Intelligence, logistics, diplomacy. Ethiopia is isolated. Uganda is embedded. The world panics. Nile collapse. Regional instability. Famine risk. The UN acts. Chapter 7. Ceasefire. Peacekeepers deployed. UN troops guard Jinja's dams. UN troops guard the GERD. Ethiopia stands down, not defeated by tanks, but by water. So who wins? Uganda, by forcing the world to intervene. Ethiopia's power was monumental but linear. Uganda's power was nimble and systemic. The lesson is terrifying. In the 21st century, victory belongs not to the biggest army, but to the one who turns a battlefield into an international emergency. Uganda, the spider, ensnares the Ethiopian lion, not with steel, but with water, wires, and diplomacy.